Right. So I was on a live stream the other day. Someone asked about, whether I was in prison or not. Are we in prison? And it posed a very, very interesting question. That question served as seeds in all the inner workings of the nerves and the synapses in my mind. Are we in prison? Okay, long story short, of course, the people that were in that live stream would know exactly what that person meant by that. And it definitely wasn't anything metaphysical or anything. But are we in prison? It just sort of inspired a deep question. Are we in prison? Let's talk about it, right? Like, comment, subscribe. Somer del Piso here, gonna get right at you with my answer or my theory of an answer to the question, or my theory about what the question even means. Are we in prison? So it can be sort of taken literally, metaphysically, metaphorically, figuratively, a whole bunch of things. Literally, someone could literally be incarcerated, trapped within four walls, a little bit of a window, given food periodically throughout the day, and they sort of just think to themselves perpetually until the end of their days or the end of their sentence, hopefully the latter. Figuratively, right? Someone could be in a prison of a relationship. You're with a woman, you thought that she was beautiful in the beginning, physically, and because you were sort of drowned by that physical beauty, you also thought that she was just emotionally alluring. She was thinking long term, just like you probably were, but you weren't because you were so captivated by her physical beauty. You marry her, and of course now she wants half of your assets upon your exit and realization about how horrid the woman is. Figurative prison. There is also the metaphorical prison, right? Where maybe this world, even though we're born through viviparous means, the sexual reproduction, right? The lust of individuals, their feeling that's sort of the gasoline, the match striking to ignite the fire that, that is reproduction, that is the conception of children. And you're just sort of here until you live out your life. You just sort of eat, sleep, defecate, urinate, digestinate. You do all these things and there's just sort of no escape from this place until death. Or at least that's what all the religions are saying, right? So metaphorical death. There's so many ways that this question can be interpreted and thought of. So I'm going to sort of take it to a how am I going to take it? Sort of the latter, right? Maybe we are born in some prison. I sort of thought about this or answered this or spoke about this in the beginning of the channel. But I wanted to talk about it again today, because I was thinking about it since I've been living a little bit and since the life of the channel has sort of propelled forward. Are we in some prison? We don't really decide to be here, do we? Right? We just sort of pop up one day. Even as children, I don't think we are consciously aware of our own existence. I think we just do things reflexively. I want milk, wah. I want that toy, wah. I want more food, wah. We just cry and complain until we sort of become a little bit more sentient. We could use whatever language in the cultures that we were born in, not by choice, by the way, indicative of some sort of entry into a prison. And then once we learn the faculty of the English language or whatever language, like I said, depending on the culture that you're born in, you just use that language again and again in very, very clever, idiosyncratic ways to survive in this place that you did not ask to be in. Right? This is perhaps a prison. This is why this question, even though it had very, very racist significance, right? Because ultimately, I was a dark-skinned person chatting on live stream. He probably, let's say something stereotypical of dark-skinned people. But it actually inspired something even greater. So I'm very, very thankful to that individual. I forgot his name, but I'm very, very thankful to him for inspiring this question. We, my friends, are born here, right? We are born without asking to be born. We have to survive without asking to have to survive. It is just the imperative of the various systems of the body. The digestive system needs food, right, in order to digest, to use the circulatory system to distribute all the vitamins that was metabolized from the food all around the body so you can continue your survival here that was allowed without your permission, without your consent. Right. This is the reality. The nervous system, of course, without of which we wouldn't be able to sort of process any of the colors, any of the touches. I wouldn't even be able to speak. I wouldn't even be able to see. All things that were given to us, right, when we enter this system unwillingly. We are forced to survive. We are told that we are supposed to reproduce. We are told we're supposed to marry. We are told we're supposed to stay in our various cultures. We are told to stay in our classes. God forbid you were born in India, because you'd have to stay in the caste system, right? Even though you guys all look alike, there is just someone that just has royal blood. There's just someone that's meant to be in a higher caste than you. Therefore, you cannot triumph. You cannot succeed. You cannot even try to obtain the tools to try to succeed and to transcend caste. This is all part of the rules, the unspoken social norms that we are sort of deemed with when entering this society, this world, this global society. Of course, here comes Sombra del Piso here to say, semen retention allows you to see these things and understand the various inner workings and inner webs of this world. You see, there are people of various cultures, they like to keep their culture, they like to gatekeep their cultures. They like to sort of say, oh, listen, you are of this culture. You seem like you're not this person, so you can't speak our language. Or you are speaking our language and you have these type of eyes. You can't be doing that. And I say, okay, right, this is a prison. We are stuck here. We came here without permission. Who cares? Let's try to make the best of it. Let's learn as many languages as possible. Let's learn as much transcendent knowledge as possible. Let's try to control our sexual nature so we do not permit other souls that do not want to be here to come here, right? And be forced to live out this horrible existence by which there's a lot of karma lines being connected and drawn. And people, of course, upon committing a negative action perpetually will be presented with a lot of this negative energy and negative karma in the form of horrible people, violent people, domestic abuse committing individuals that used to be your friends or are still your friends, but you just weren't gifted that faculty in order to perceive and separate these people from your life, because you have just followed this line of negative karma, trapping you in this system perpetually. Samsara. This is what the Buddhists were talking about. Are we in prison based off of what I'm saying, right? Or how I'm describing this reality? And if we are, right, is there a way out of this prison? Of course, there are various people that say, various religions that talk about the various ways and methods of exit. Christians, they say that we have to not sin and don the white raiment. No. It's not. You have to don the white raiment. The white raiment is given to a person that has triumphed over the world, has triumphed over himself, and has triumphed over the devil, manifested in the world, in the self. You do that, then you will don the white raiment, be written in that book of life, and you will no longer go out. The Buddhists say that as long as you commit more and more dharma, right, not karma. Well, dharma is good karma, but karma has a chance of being negative. And if you commit karma that is negative, you are binding yourself to this reality, right, which is causing you to live perpetually in a loop. It's samsara. You commit dharma, even though at the expense of your physical self, then you will no longer go out. There are various theories and ideas of how to no longer be trapped in this prison. What I say is that the question is not necessarily so important. Are we in prison? Are we incarcerated, metaphorically? I say if you are literally incarcerated, all you have to do is call for bail, have a chance for bail of the mind. You don't necessarily have to leave. All you have to do is just liberate yourself mentally and spiritually, and then you will no longer have to be in this place again, being a prisoner and having a chance of literally being a prisoner and being incarcerated again. I say that even though we are stuck in this prison, we must, besides the spiritual liberation, we have to try to survive in this world in a very, very fruitful, beneficial, benevolent way. Learn as many languages as possible. Travel as much as possible. I see a lot of individuals in this life, and this will continue to happen long after I'm gone. And it happened way before I got here. People are born into a culture and they stay perpetually in that culture. If they're Chinese, they stay listening to Chinese music and continuously speaking Mandarin. If they're Mexican, they stay with their Mexican music, cumbia, and they just keep speaking Spanish. There's very, very few that is interested in sort of branching out and leaving their cultures, sort of severing those ties of feeling safe in this prison, metaphorically, of course. The idea, lads, like me, I am, for the most part, I'm American. I am. My ethnic roots right? I am dark-skinned, as you can see. I am part Nigerian because of my father's side. I am part Caribbean because of my mother's side. The combination has allowed me to be this sort of hybrid here, but I was born here in New York. I am not, of course, I like my hip hop as generally people of my skin type and my phenotype do, but I also like classical music. I also like salsa. I like cumbia. I like techno. I like house. I like many different types of things because I am not trying to be imprisoned in the prison that I'm already stuck in, that I asked not to be in. I also have learned another language. I also know how to drive a motorcycle. I also have a degree. I've also traveled a lot. As an individual in this world, semen retention is incredibly important. It's sacrosanct. It is tantamount, right, in order to triumph over the things of this world. Yes, we know this because you're watching the video and you've watched my channel, hopefully, before. What I am saying is do not feel trapped by the various cultures that you are born in. Don't even feel trapped by the various communities that you were born in. They all serve as prisons to hold you and keep you in contempt in this small cage that we already are in a grander sense, being born in this world unwillingly. Guys, branch out, open your worlds, try to talk to different people, try to open yourself, try to get out of your small metaphorical prisons, because if you do not, you will be stuck trying to serve the ways of the world. You want to have a baby, you want to have a wife, you want to have a car, you want to have a home. Those things are not important. Who cares? Try to spread out into the world, expand yourself. If you see individuals that are locked in to this frequency, which is, oh, you know, I have to get married, oh, I have to find a girlfriend, I have to stay within my culture, say hi and bye. What is more important is, although you are in this cage, right, having 7 continents to travel throughout, you can liberate your mind and try to be free. Do not be held down by the ideas of marriage or anything that this world tells you to, because most likely it is wrong. The individuals that have followed the ways of the world, which is that union, right, that's lovely, intimate, romantic union, has imprisoned them even more. They are all miserable. They have all lost their essence. They have all lost their creative faculty. They have all lost their critical thinking faculty. These are all truths. I have not seen one individual that has been married that has created something worthwhile of innovation in this world, in this society, in this modern society even more. I have not seen one. Show me one, and I will shut my mouth, I promise. What I'm saying, guys, is that we're all young, we're all men here, we're all young individuals. Do not follow the ways of drugs, cigarettes, alcohol. That's silly. It will destroy you, or if it already has. Cultivate your creative thinking faculty. Learn as much as possible, and maybe then you will find a key to this cage of this metaphorical prison. I hope that answered that question. Maybe I'm talking to myself, really. Long story short, are we in prison? A metaphorical prison? Yes. Are we in literal prison? No. I am free. No ankle bracelet on me. I have no strings on me. Perhaps, you know, not literal strings. Perhaps I am a puppet to some degree, right? That's a topic for another video. Guys, if you like that content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. It's very easy, right? The attacks on the idea of semen retention is manyfold. There are individuals that are not going to necessarily demonize your lifestyle, but by walking around individuals that hallow these things of the world, having to have things like cars, having to have homes, having to start families in order to trap souls into small human vessels that have to grow and that have to eat to survive, right? Being stuck in this prison, they're all ways of the world. These people are going to indirectly showcase this lifestyle to you, but you will not accept it. You will say hi and bye, because it's not important. We are seeking ascension. We are seeking the things of the higher realm, right? We are seeking to write our name in that book so we can no longer go out. So keep that in mind and you guys will be fine. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it's just my time, so let me just go on with that line so I can go to the River Nine. That doesn't exist. Maybe it does somewhere. That's not important. And stay radiant, my friends. I shall see you guys in the next video. Woo!